From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
American Door Company has been family-owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way up to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, we do have a storm system approaching, but it's still going to take a few days before it gets here. Until then, we're dealing with some gorgeous weather out there. Yes, it's still a little chilly outside, but we're looking at dry conditions. And you can see out in Crescent City just some of those passing clouds here as we take you through the morning hours, and not to mention even into the afternoon. Taking a look at Lake Oroville, North Forebay. This is out at the recreation area. A little bit of a breeze out there. Otherwise, mainly sunny skies off there in the distance in Oroville. Take a look at Lassen Park at the south entrance here. Look at that, plenty of sunshine out there. Absolutely gorgeous day. Maybe head on out there and do some snowshoeing with over 9 feet of snow up at the Lassen Volcanic National Park. That's at the South Entrance Visitor Center, by the way. Dry and mild here for today, but showers will return as early as Wednesday for some. But overall, it's going to be a Thursday through Sunday event with snow levels dropping, especially for Friday and Saturday. And some fairly low snow levels at that, which we'll get into here in a second. And then travel delays for Friday and Saturday, although we could see some delays as early as Thursday as well. So here's your storm timeline. As we go into Thursday, again, that's when the main event begins. Gusty winds, 30, 40, even 50 miles per hour. Could be looking at some power outages. Rain and snow. Now, snow levels will be high, about 3,500 to 4,500 feet. Starting off around 4,500 to 5,000 feet and dropping through the day. Then we go into Friday, gusty winds continue, 30, 40, even 50 miles per hour. Power outages, still a possibility. Snow levels are dropping, starting at 3,000 feet on Friday, dropping to about 2,000 feet later in the day. That means heavy snow and travel delays as a result. Now, the heaviest snow and rain will most likely be on Friday, and then we go into Saturday still feeling the impacts as the colder air continues to move in. We just have less rain and less snow, but we could be looking at snow down to about 1,000 feet and locally lower. Now, again, the impacts will be especially felt in the morning hours on Saturday. Conditions may improve slightly as we go into Saturday afternoon. It's Sunday where really things are starting to wrap up, but still a few flurries out there and snow levels still fairly low, around 1,000 feet or locally lower. So really overall, you can see the activity down to our south, that's staying to our south. It's up to our north that we've got our eyes on. That is what's going to bring us that colder air, and not to mention, of course, those lower snow levels. Let's take a look at Futurecast, and we're going to take you to about 5 p.m. today, and of course, we're looking at mainly sunny skies. Some clouds up to our north. Those will be filtering southward here as we take in your Wednesday. Now, Wednesday, through the first half of the day, most of us are dry. But by around late morning, around noon, showers hitting the coast. Snow levels most likely closer to 5,000 feet, lowering as we take you into the afternoon to around 4,000 feet. So here's Wednesday at 5 p.m. You can see just how insignificant the rain and even snow is. So nothing significant on Wednesday. It's Thursday that we've got our eyes on. By Thursday morning, we can see this main band of rain, which is very heavy and has some strong winds associated. It's basically a cold front. So behind it's the colder air. And then, of course, it's also got the windy conditions and the heavier rainfall. Now, notice the snow levels Thursday morning, starting off probably somewhere around 4,500 feet, but lowering through the morning down to about 3,500 feet. And then as we go into the mid to late morning hours, now the cold front's moving through the valley. Not only are we dealing with heavy rainfall, but also gusty winds. Snow levels, as mentioned, maybe somewhere around 3,500 feet at this point, getting close to around Mount Shasta City. Then that will push eastward as we go into Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening. So you can see the bulk of the rain and snow is now off to our east, heavy at times. Snow levels, again, somewhere dropping a little bit even lower, probably somewhere between 2,500 and 3,500 feet. But now things are starting to kind of taper off a bit before the heavier system comes in on Friday. Now let's take a look at the short-range forecast models all the way through Thursday to show you how much rain we can expect. Now, I think we may see a little bit more than what we're seeing here. I'd say about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch in the valley, and of course we're seeing a decent amount of rainfall along the coast. Now, as far as snow is concerned, we're not going to see a ton of snow either, because again, it's really going to be Friday and Saturday that we see the heaviest amount of snow. However, that being said, some of the higher elevations, such as Chester, for example, could see a couple of inches of snow through Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening. But again, heavier snowfall coming in for Friday and into Saturday. Let's take a look at that long range. So we look at a couple of things. Number one, here's Thursday, right? Then as we go into your Friday, we have a disturbance that'll push through. That's going to squeeze out even another round of heavy rainfall for the valley, and not to mention heavy snow in the mountains. Now we also have some gusty winds associated with this storm system. Gusts upwards of, as I mentioned earlier, 40 to even 50 miles per hour. This is when we start to see some major travel delays through the day on Friday as well. Then we go into Saturday, and the main area of low pressure is now directly to our north. This does not support as much rainfall or snow. So even though the impacts will still be fairly high, it's mainly going to be the aftermath of Friday's activity that we did see, but still some activity on top of that. Some light snow flurries and even some light rain for parts of the valley, but overall, not a lot. And again, snow levels by this point could be dropping down to as low as 1,000 feet and locally lower, which could mean the potential for a mix for places like around the Redding area. All right, now we take you into Sunday, 5 p.m. Things are starting to wrap themselves up, but still a few flurries out there. Some of those flurries or mix could make its way down into the Redding area as well. Now we go into Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. We've got more rain and some more cooler air moving in. We'll deal with that as we go into next week. But for now, let's get through the weekend. Rainfall outlook through Monday. I have put these numbers in here myself to kind of help to adjust these numbers a little bit. Now, you can see here, I'm expecting anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of rain for most of us in the valley. However, the north end of the valley around Redding, I think we could see at least 2 to 3 inches of rain. Now, where we're seeing a lot of snow in the mountains, when you melt that down, the liquid equivalency, as you can see, how much rain or how much water we expect to see, most of it, as usual, is expected to be off into Del Norte County. Now, forecast snow totals, this is not my official number. These are not my official forecast numbers. However, we just take a look at what's known as the GFS forecast model data. Way overdoing it for many areas. However, it's not out of the question for a trace. Maybe they're a bit of a mix for places like Redding, maybe as far south as Red Bluff, but honestly, that might be pushing it. Overdoing it for Crescent City and Eureka, but we could be looking at some flakes there as well as we approach the weekend. So again, keep in mind, these numbers are all going to be fine-tuned, but bottom line, we expect the heaviest snow above 3,000 feet, but we do expect accumulating snow between 1,000 and 3,000 feet, just measuring that at that point in inches. So Weaverville, Hayfork, you're measuring it inches. However, above 3,000 feet, 3,500 feet, you're measuring it most likely in feet of 1 to 2 feet. And then of course you get above 5,000 feet, it's going off the charts at that point. 4, 5, 6 feet of snow. But that's going really closer to the Sierra. Taking a look at the winds, yeah, not a problem here for today and for a good portion of the day on Wednesday as well. But by Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, we're starting to see those winds really begin to ramp up here for the coast. Now, Wednesday night around midnight into early Thursday morning, this is when the cold front is going to start to push through. Gusts upwards of 50, even 60 miles per hour along the coast. That then pushes eastward. By Thursday morning, around between 8 and 10 in the morning is when we expect some of the highest gusts in the valley. At that point, 40 to over 50 miles per hour is a possibility. That, of course, then translates to high winds later in the afternoon for the eastern mountains for Thursday afternoon. Also seeing those gusts upwards of 40 to 50 miles per hour. So with winds that strong, it's not out of the question for us to see some power outages. We take a look at the wave heights as we go into this afternoon, 8 to 9 feet. They drop tonight into tomorrow morning, and then they may start to increase with that approaching storm system. Here's what it looks like today. Temperatures are going to be in the low 60s for the valley, and there you can see in the mountains, generally in the mid 40s, give or take. Trinity County, low 50s inland and along the coast for this afternoon as well. So not a bad day temperature-wise, but we are going to start to see those bigger changes as we look at the extended outlook. Taking a look at Mount Shasta and Alturas and Susanville. Mainly dry for your Wednesday. There could be some activity late in the day, but it's not going to be very impressive. The main event occurs Thursday, Friday, Saturday, starting to wrap itself up on Sunday with drier conditions most likely by Monday of next week. We'll have to kind of wait and see on that one. Your 7-day outlook for the valley. There you can see, again, maybe some showers late in the day, but probably closer to the Wednesday night. So mainly dry today, mainly dry tomorrow, and then you can see the main event with the rain coming in Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then maybe a little bit of activity coming in on Sunday as well. Taking a look at your 7-day outlook for the coast. Of course, you've got that rain for Wednesday. Could be looking at that rain as early as Wednesday around noon for the coast, and not to mention inland, but maybe late in the day for places like Weaverville. Heavier rainfall and not to mention that snow for Thursday, Friday, Saturday that could linger on into Sunday and possibly drying out by next Monday.